everyone, welcome back to Let's Go Mental. My name is Warime. Now, today I'd like to talk about depression and signs and symptoms to look out for. Now, depression is actually a very serious medical condition that affects the brain. And anyone who has depression or a depressed person, basically their day-to-day activities gets affected. You will find that their relationships get affected, that is family and friends. You find that probably their productivity at work is not as high as it used to be, or their productivity in school is not as high as it used to be, or you'll find probably the person loses interest in activities they used to do. So for example, if you liked cycling, or you liked going to the gym, or even if you liked cooking, they now start becoming a task when it comes to doing those things that you used to like doing. So now, what are the signs and symptoms to look out for? The first sign and symptom to look out for is a depressive mood. Now, we all have periods or times when we have depressive moments, or pretty much moments where we are feeling down in the dumps, or moments when we have the blues, which is normal. But if you feel like your depressive mood is lasting for, say, longer than 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then it is a point of concern. Yeah? So there's a number one, depressed moods. And remember that there's a difference from depressed moods, which is caused by depression as the illness, and there's the depressed moods, which are caused by, say, a situation that has happened in your life. Say, for example, you've maybe lost a loved one, you've lost a job, you're having issues with finances or your relationship. Definitely those can bring on a depressive mood. But as I mentioned again, if it's over a prolonged period of time, then you need to reach out for help. Number two, another symptom that you need to look out for is poor concentration and memory loss. Now, what you'll find is that, say you are in class and you were able to focus on, say, a 1-hour lecture, and now it has gotten to a point whereby, say, 10-15 minutes into the lecture, you're not able to focus on what the person is saying, or whether it's something that you're reading, you're no longer able to focus on that. So pretty much that is poor concentration. And then, as I mentioned as well, the memory loss. Now, memory loss, you'll find something extremely basic. Say, even, I remember there was a time I had gone for a function at a friend's place in Kilimani, and I needed to get back to my parents' place in Limuru, on Limuru Road. Now, at that point in time, I was staying with them because I still needed a lot of care and support during that period. Now, when I left the function, of course, it's a no-brainer. I know I should use this route to get home. Now, it took me about 30 minutes driving through Kilimani, Kileleshwa, trying to get myself onto Wayakiwe. And actually, I had to call a friend to help me get out of Kileleshwa or Kilimani to be able to get my way home. So that is another symptom to look out for, poor concentration and memory loss. Now, another symptom to look out for as well is extreme fatigue. Now, there's the usual fatigue where you feel like you're tired, maybe you've had a hectic couple of days, or the day was quite demanding. But now, this fatigue that you feel due to depression does not go away. Whether you sleep for 24 hours, whether you sleep for 15 hours, pretty much this fatigue does not go away. And you'll also find that this fatigue, something as simple as even making a bed. I remember at some point, making my bed was actually a task. In terms of, I would try and pull up the sheet, and just that slight activity of pulling up the sheet, which is a very normal action, I'd actually start panting because of the fatigue I'm feeling. Or sometimes I live on 4th floor, so every time I know a depressive episode is about to happen, when I'm walking up the stairs, I will walk up a flight of stairs and I'll have to catch my breath and then go up another flight of stairs. So fatigue is also, extreme fatigue is also another symptom to look out for. Then another symptom is lack of confidence and low self-esteem. So you will find that you no longer have confidence in yourself, your esteem has gone down, you start questioning yourself, you start questioning your capabilities. Probably you are very good at, say, drawing, or you are a creative, or maybe very good in your math. in your field, but then you find that you no longer have the confidence you used to have. You find that you have low self-esteem even amongst your friends. Probably you start looking like, oh, they're judging me, oh, I'm not even worth being in this circle of friends, or I'm not even worth having this role in my organization, you know. So that is pretty much another sign and symptom of depression. That is lack of confidence and low self-esteem. Another sign and symptom of depression is diminished appetite or weight loss, or increased appetite and weight gain. So most of the time when it comes to depression, you'll find that people will mainly lose their appetite, but there are those people who will gain their appetite. So of course, you will either lose or gain depending on which spectrum that you fall on. Now, my example, I lost appetite, and pretty much that is why I lost a lot of weight. The people who know me before I was unwell and after I was unwell, and after my diagnosis, definitely can see a big difference in my weight. And of course, I always get the questions of what is happening, what is going on with you. And since now I started talking openly about the diagnosis and talking about what depression is, of course I've gotten more confident to be able to tell people, look, this was not a conscious effort to lose weight, but it was because of this condition. So that is another sign and symptom of depression. Loss of appetite or increase of appetite, weight gain, extreme weight gain, or extreme loss of weight. Then there is also insomnia or hyposomnia. So of course, pretty much insomnia is where you lose sleep. You can find yourself going for probably even days, you know, where you're not able to sleep. It doesn't matter how tired you are, your mind is just constantly awake and you cannot shut down. Even if you work out, because I remember I used to work out, but my mind just pretty much could not shut down. Or there's a hypersomnia, which you experience in terms of you just end up sleeping all through. So of course, pretty much it is tied with the extreme fatigue and the hyposomnia. You can sleep a whole day, a whole night, and this sleep will still not end. And unfortunately, family members or friends look at the person as lazy, but this is actually one of the major signs and symptoms of depression. Another sign and symptom of depression is unexplained physical symptoms. So you'll find you're constantly having headaches, backaches, neck aches, things that pretty much you don't understand. And even if you go to the doctor, they seem to find that you're okay. They cannot find any underlying issue, so they put you on painkillers, paracetamol, whatever it is, and you go along your way. But you just find there's just a recurrence of these unexplained aches. And I also really, in fact for me, I really experienced a lot of physical symptoms. I had mentioned this in a previous video where I constantly had migraines. I felt like I was always feeling like one side of my body was numb. My heart was also always palpitating. I just had funny pains that I could not explain. So that is another sign and symptom of depression. You also have whereby someone has pessimistic thoughts of the future. You just look at everything negatively. Nothing makes sense anymore. You do not feel like life is worth living. You do not feel like you need to put any thoughts into anything. So you'll find that that is the point where you start getting negative, you're pessimistic, you have no hope for the future, you know. And then now once you get worse in that negative thought, you will now find yourself slowly starting to have destructive behaviors. So these are like drinking more than you used to, which is alcohol abuse. There's drug abuse. Some people will get into drug abuse. There are those ones who will get into dangerous sexual activity. And then, of course, now there is the suicidal thoughts. Now, if you have gotten to a point where you have suicidal thoughts, it is extremely important for you to seek help immediately. Speak to a loved one, tell them what's going through your mind, and ask them to get you help, or ask them to help you get the help. Seek a psychologist. More often than not, if you're experiencing suicidal thoughts, you need to see a psychiatrist immediately so that they can put you on treatment as soon as possible. So, having mentioned the above symptoms, if you have out of the above symptoms, I would encourage you to seek help, because the earlier you seek help, the sooner you get treatment and the sooner you're able to manage the condition. You no longer have the questions of what's going on with me, why am I constantly tired, why am I constantly irritated with my loved ones, why am I always crying, because you see, of course, depression is a mood disorder, and you'll find your moods are so erratic. Previously you were able to control your moods, but now you're just in a point where you just can't control your moods. You'll find that you can move from being extremely angry to the next time you're just crying. You've just broken down and you're crying, and your family members are wondering what's wrong with you. You are also trying to wonder what's wrong with you and struggling to live a normal life. Your productivity definitely goes down if you do not get treatment. So guys, I hope this video has been able to help you, given you further insights on signs and symptoms to look out for. I encourage anyone who is experiencing this, seek help, speak to someone, and going for help or seeking psychiatric help does not make you a weak person. It actually makes you a strong person, because you have identified there is a problem and I need to sort it out as soon as possible. Now, in my next video, I shall be having a Q&A session. So guys, please put down your questions below, because definitely this is a very important video. And yes, I shall be addressing your questions in my next video. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Do not forget to subscribe, and we shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.